we look at those two backswing positions.
Yeah.
This one here now is creating a little bit more of a lever than you want to try and create, okay? What you were having on this left-hand one now, you would get to about sort of halfway back and then, there's a sort of like, pull with the shoulder and the arm now. And then when you get down to about just before impact, you know, the angles you've created in your wrist now, I mean, they're almost gone there. Then when you get down to just before impact, next frame here now, all your angles are gone. So as you're in that golf ball, that's all kind of angled up there now, and then you've lost all power and speed, and then your arms now shrugging through this. So it's like, as if you've got like it almost looks as if you've got a heavy rod and you're trying to like pull it over someone's head, and you're using a lot of energy and effort to lift that club rather than swing the club with speed, as opposed to this. And when you sort of took the golf club back here now, and these are your practice swings, look how much better the practice swing looks. Goes even more, you see, so the more we can encourage that wrist hinge. Then as you start coming down now, we've still got that wrist hinge, you've still got this angle maintained. As I said, when that angle becomes effectively zero, or does it go beyond sort of 5-10 degrees of unhinging, that's when your power's going to be released. But if you're doing it too early, and as you swing through now, as you're swinging through here now, this looks less shruggy on your left shoulder, You look at that post-impact position compared to that there. When you're like, ugh. Like you're just lifting up because you're trying to hit it so much harder because in your mind you want this club to go further. So in your mind the logic is, okay, well, I want to go further, I know, I'll just hit it harder. And the more effort you put at this end and the grip end, the more you throw your body out of position, worse it gets. So you've got to try to get that sensation that we're swishing through. There you can see finishing up more balance, okay? Then we step to that golf ball, make sure the club is sitting down. I would say that even that's a little bit on the open side slightly.
Right.
And the club now sort of almost leaning back a little bit. We want this bottom part of the club to sit flat on the ground there, so don't sort of tilt him back. I think when you look at this club and don't see much loft, you think, oh crikey, haven't got much loft there, I'll just sort of lean it back here, and you kind of sit it like this. But if the face is aiming to the right and you make a very good swing, the ball goes to the right. But if the ball goes to the right, we don't want to go to the right. Now we're going to start trying to hit it further left. So making sure that club is sitting a little bit more flatter the ground, so the arrow or the... There's an arrow there. It's facing towards the target. Always double check that lead grip, okay? That one there, I would say, is probably not as good a grip, okay? One of the shots we had there, that V was going a bit more up towards your right shoulder. That one there's more towards sort of centre part of your chest, okay? So getting that left hand over is going to help, okay? And then in terms of the swing, as we said, create a sort of wrist hinge now that goes back first. When we come back to the golf ball, we can unhinge the wrist. Still on this one here now, I wouldn't say it's as bad. The shoulder looks a little, if you look at there now, the shoulders look so sort of shrugged up here, whereas here you really look like, it's just, whoa, go on, give it the beans, But you're using a lot more energy for less result. So you're fatiguing yourself quicker for no gain. So now you get frustrated, frustration increases the tension, then you're trying the ball further and further. I think there are going to be some times where you may get on the fairway even, or in the rough, or in a position where you want to get distance. I mean, the first on the button's a classic example. If your tee shot, as you said, has a little bit of a fade on it. If your first tee shot fades a little bit to the right-hand side, there's a very good chance your second shot's going to be ball below your feet. Only a little bit, but enough to slightly miss-hit it. So if you catch it sort of that far from the sweet spot in the bottom grooves, it's going to be a lower running shot. You'll almost semi-top it, And then, of course, it may not go as far. You're now going 120 yards to go. Now you're definitely going to have the ball below your feet. And you peed off because the last one was bad. You don't notice these sort of little adjustments in the fairway. You make the same swing again. You top it even more. Oh, God, I keep topping my fairway wood. But if that's how you start the round, straight away now you're going through that mode. Then on the second is a par 3. The third, for example, the fairway does curve and camber to the right. So the first 2 holes on the button that you're playing with fairway shots, there's a pretty good chance that ball's below your feet. Even only that much. It could be that much. But if you're used to the golf ball being flat on the mat, and the ball's less than 2 inches, so if you're 1 inch above the golf ball, which you wouldn't notice if you didn't really sort of look at it, you come back 1 inch too high, you're now catching above the equator, aka top. If you slightly shrug up your shoulders because you want to whack it harder, you're now another ½ inch too high. Well, now you're 1.5 inches above where you want to be, and the ball's 1.8 inches. you're only catching 0.3 of an inch of a golf ball. You don't go very far, is it? So then you're going to top it again. And then, of course, then you go through the next sort of 3 or 4 holes where the ball's in a better position. You're so peed off because you've duffed it. You're like, oh. Then on the 6th, ball below your feet again, probably, yeah? So all these things are going to knock onto your potential misses. The first on the mat could be similar. There's a bit of a sloping fairway.
It's very sloping,
so just being aware of that.
I got a bogey on the third, on the button yesterday, so I'm always quite happy with
bogey. Very good. Any time you make a bogey down there, it's very good. If you bogey 3, 4 and 5 on the button there, like if you can get to the first 5 on the button with no more than a double bogey on any hole, you're going to the tunnel now happy, I
have done that before. I've started with a par on the first.
Maybe you went par at one time. Exactly. So and that's the thing. The potential is there to do that. It's just when it doesn't quite work, the way you try to fix it actually it's counterintuitive. It makes the results worse. So you've got to think, relaxing that grip pressure, as we said, softening that grip so we can get a bit of a hinge. Feel the shoulders, joints relaxing in the setup there, okay? So we're not shrugging the arms up. We're just feeling a bit looser. So grip is going to be better because the grip being better and the club face straighter, we can square the club face up more effectively. So we reduce the side spin. If we're gripping it tighter, we're going to increase the side spin. So that last one there, you see the ball speed drop down 12 mile an hour, the side spin increase, and you've lost 30 yards. So big difference,